So now we're moving on to our make and take number 3, and we're switching now to different designer series paper, and this is the Delightfully Eclectic designer series paper. And let me just give you a quick run through of the designs that we've got in this. There are 12 different designs. We've got things from florals to striped pretzels. Great if you want to package up some pretzels. We've got daisies, geometric designs. It really is an eclectic mix of designs and patterns in this. And that's just one side of all 12. And let me flip this over. And you've already seen this side that we've just used in make and take project number 2. And then again, we've got different florals and geometrics. Some that are great for scrapbooking actually. So really good for that. So we've got some stripes, floral spots, more geometrics, some little hearts, and another one great for scrapbooking. Right, so that is the Delightfully Eclectic mix, and let me just walk you through, because this is usually £28 because you're getting 4 sheets of each instead of 2 sheets. So this is a double pack essentially. And let me just double check the bring that up, let me find it. So this is again on offer, and so instead of £28 it's £23.80. Now the reason that I love a pack like this, it's very handy for those of us like myself that do classes, because it gives me 4 sheets of each design, so much better for being able to do multiples. It also means that if I'm wanting to do, as we're going to do now, I'm going to make a card and then a gift bag, and we're going to do these as a matching set, then I've got enough paper to be able to do that. I mean, to be honest, with what we're going to do today, you'd be able to do it with 1 sheet. So, you know, that's great. But if you're wanting to do a few of these, the multiples make it very easy. The other thing that I would just suggest is, if you've got a crafting friend, then maybe get this pack and split it between you. Absolutely great value. So what we're going to do is use this paper, and we're going to display both sides of the paper. The card design that we're going to use works great for something like this, which has got sort of sides of the paper that go great together. So this would work as well for something like this, where we've got the black and white pattern on the other side. But the other way that you could do this, just to give you an idea, is if you wanted to, you could do 2 of this same card front at the same time and mix and match these patterns. So, you know, don't just think of using a single sheet of it. Think about, you know, how you can mix and match as well. So we'll move on now to doing the card. So moving on to the card itself now, and we've got the card. This is Misty Moonlight, and I'll just put the insert to one side. And then we've got a card front layer of Night of Navy, and we've got the DSP, the Delightfully Eclectic DSP that I showed you earlier. So I've cut this one into a landscape format, but you could do this portrait as well. You would just cut with the direction of the pattern. So just watch whether your pattern has got direction to it on one side or the other. There's no direction on this side, so it really doesn't matter. But with this, we've got the flowers. We want the flowers to be upright. So there is a pattern, there is a direction to this pattern here. And what we're going to do, this is a layout that I use regularly. It's a great one for showing both sides of the DSP. We're just going to line up the corners on the cutting track. So making sure that both corners are on there. And we're going to cut corner to corner. Then we're going to hold the paper, just hold it together. You can make sure that all your patterns are still lined up and pop it back on corner to corner the other way and cut like that. So we've then got 4 triangles that we're going to piece together. So just double check how they should be. Let's check this out. They go together like that. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to keep my top and bottom as the flowers, and then I'm going to flip these over and use the pattern on the other side. Now I like to use the multi-purpose liquid glue, the Tombow, for this, because it just gives you that little bit of wiggle room, a bit of slide time. Now you're going to get narrow margins, narrower than they might have seemed at first, because we want to keep them even all the way around. So we'll just do that. And I like to have them arranged roughly like that so that I can see where they need to be. And then I'm going to pop this down. And like I say, just get that so that it's around about even, and just press that down, and then I'm sort of working that way. There we go. So and if you've used 2 sheets, then you can mix and match your patterns as well. So I'm going to pop that on and just slide it. Try and make sure that that looks even and that looks even. And just press down. So, and like I say, just using a little bit of liquid glue just gives you that chance to be able to slide these around into place. So again, I'm going to move that out and down. And again, just make sure that the points are coming together. There's a few places where it's handy to have these lined up. And the final piece is going to slot in. And this is a great one to use with your DSPs. Works so well. And like I say, you can rotate it and do it as a portrait format rather than landscape. Oops. A little bit of extra glue there, but it doesn't matter because we're going to cover that up anyway. So all I'm going to do now is adhere this to the card front. And of course, when you get your make and take pack, if you wanted to do it a different way around, you could do. I'm going to pop that on there evenly. And I have a little bit of extra glue there. There we are. So I've got a little mat here. And I'm actually bringing in the circle sayings for myself. Obviously, you use whatever you've got in your stash. And I'm going to go with Night and Navy ink, But you're welcome to use Memento Black or whatever, again, you've got in your cupboard. So just remove that little hair and I'll get my mat. So I'm going to just stamp that there like that, and then we'll pop this direct onto the mat of Night of Navy. And if you're doing this yourself, obviously you can switch around for the colours that you've got. And then I'm going to pop this up on some dimensionals on the card front. So we'll just do that. And what I like to do is just try and get this fairly even. You can just sort of see from your little corners where it needs to be. And there we've got a fabulous card, nice and easy. For my insert, there's a little strip of paper. Because I've taken this off the edge here, it's not a full length, so you'll just need to make sure that you position that even top to bottom. And I'm going to bring the circle sayings in again, and I think we'll have the celebrate. And again, and I always like to do my stamping first before putting any DSP on, and then if there's a mistake, I've always got the chance to flip it over and do it again. So because we're using photopolymer, I've got my mat, and I'm just going to orient that so that we've got one of the dots at the bottom, and that will make the celebrate. Actually, I want to move it over just a teeny bit because I want to leave room for that border down there. And I'm just leaving it at that. You could put something in the centre if you wanted. And like I say, this piece wants to go evenly between top and bottom, and I'm just going to leave a little extra white space, about double what I've got top and bottom down the side there. And oops, move that one. And doesn't actually matter which way up you want to put this. So put that to open, and we'll pop that there like that. Turn it over, press from the back, and there, obviously you can switch out the sentiment, whatever you need, whatever you've got in your stash, to be able to make your card. So that's our third make and take project, and we're going on now to our fourth and final one to make a gift bag to go with this little card.